Princess Cruises, one of the finest names in the world of five-star luxury cruising, known for being the consummate host, with exemplary customer service, the friendliest crew on the seven seas, and arguably the tastiest cake in the world. Now, for over 50 years, our loyal guests have returned to us each with the excitement and anticipation of being back on board one of our many ships in the Princess fleet. But you know, it wasn't always that way. Oh no, you see, back then, this cake right here, it didn't come in the sugar-free, gluten-free, flour-free, nut-free, fat-free, well, cake-free varieties like it does today. Oh no, back then it was, well, just cake. Too much about the cake?
Princess Cruises started from humble beginnings a little over 50 years ago, when in 1965, Stanley MacDonald chartered his very first Princess ship. He called her Patricia. She was a Scottish-built, 360 feet long, 56 feet wide Canadian Pacific steamer with enough charm and charisma to put a smile on the faces of the hundreds that walked up her gangway. Man, they just don't build them like that anymore. And rightly so, because Patricia, for all of her pomp and ceremony, was missing one very important thing. She didn't have any air conditioning, and Stanley was sailing her to Mexico, where the average temperature was scorchio. After a very successful but somewhat sweaty first year, Stanley went back to the drawing board, chartering a more modern vessel built specifically for cruising. She was called the SS Italia, and so began the Princess journey.
Whoa, hold on a minute. You can't have a company without a company logo. You see, the mermaid, or the sea witch, which we all now know and love, I mean, that hadn't even been created at this point. So what better visual representation to sell the early Mexican itineraries than a dude in a sombrero? I mean, works for me. Let's just hope we never sail anywhere else other than Mexico. Otherwise, that's going to be really weird.
Stanley was a smart chap and soon realised if he wanted to take Princess Cruises to the next level, he was going to need ice, and lots of it. Problem was that Mexican dude that he painted on the side of his now two ships, the SS Italia and the newly chartered MS Carla. You see, that logo wouldn't bode too well in the sub-zero temperatures of Alaska, and so was born the mighty Sea Witch, a logo so powerful, so recognisable, she would proudly command every Princess vessel from this point forward.
Business was booming for Stanley and Princess Cruises, and in the latter stages of the 1960s, the name Princess was a force to be reckoned with in the world of luxury cruise vacations. He even sailed the SS Italia transatlantic for the very first time, all the way from Nassau to Genoa. He did make it, right?
Yeah.
He did? Okay, good. That would have been awkward. That was a good one. Try this one.
It was the 1970s, and a new generation of groovy passengers wanted to take to the high seas on one of Stanley's five-star liners. They dressed a bit funny back then, but that didn't stop Stanley making the decision to retire the SS Italia and MS Carla for the newly named Island, Pacific and Sun Princess. The company was soon snapped up by the British shipping giant P&O as 1975 rolled around. But nobody expected what would happen next.
You see, jeans weren't the only thing that was blooming in the mid-70s. Oh no, Princess Cruises was really starting to pick up a head of steam themselves. But nothing made it bloom faster than a 1975 television show that put Princess Cruises into the living rooms of millions and millions of people around the world. This was Stanley's game changer. This would never be forgotten. This was The Love Boat. Love,
exciting and new. The Love Boat was a weekly television series which introduced millions of viewers to the concept of a sea-going vacation. Now, to say it was an instant hit would be an understatement, and both the company name and its Sea Witch logo catapulted Princess Cruises to the forefront of the cruising industry.
The TV show was actually filmed on board the island and the Pacific Princess, but believe it or not, it was actually only filmed 2 to 3 weeks per year on board the actual ships. The rest of the time it was filmed in a studio down in Hollywood. which is the reason why the cabins look so big on TV. I mean, come on. Seriously? You could get 26 crew cabins in there.
Princess continued to grow at a rapid pace, but in 1980, Stanley finally made the difficult decision to hang up his hat, safe in the knowledge his work here was done. Soon after Stanley's departure, P&O purchased the Italian shipping company Sitmar and combined the companies, ships, and officers together, creating the greatest collaboration of British and Italians since the Second World War. On paper, it should have been a disaster, but the Italians were drinking tea and the Brits were eating pizza all before you could whistle Old Solomio.
The 1990s was a decade full of terrible music, ridiculous fashion,
You can't touch this.
and rapid growth for Princess Cruises, as she added another 8 ships to her fleet in just 10 years. It was also the birth of the Grand class of vessels, with the Grand Princess holding the title of largest cruise ship in the world for 6 months. Damn you, Voyager of the Seas.
Since the turn of the century, Princess Cruises has been an industry leader in bringing cruising to a global audience, and now sails to hundreds of different destinations around the world on all 7 continents. From the fascinating destinations we visit to our incredible ships and nearly everything we do on board, some of the most respected names in the travel industry have singled out Princess Cruises as among the very best of the best. The list of honours like Best Cruise Line Overall, Best Itineraries, Highest Customer Satisfaction, Best Cruises for Food Lovers, and more is proof of our commitment to creating unique, enriching experiences and memories that last a lifetime. We have come a long way since the days of no air conditioning. In 2013, Princess debuted its Royal class of vessels, bringing the number of ships in the fleet to an impressive 17 with the introduction of the Royal, Regal, and Majestic, each proudly showcasing the most trusted logo at sea, splashed across their bows like a work of modern art. Princess has been at the forefront of cruising industry innovation for more than 50 years. Take Ocean Medallion, for example, a first-of-its-kind wearable device that elevates every moment before, during, and after your vacation. From on-demand food and drinks, interactive gaming, custom entertainment, and smart navigation, Ocean Medallion makes cruising, well, simpler, more personal and enjoyable than ever before, and kind of makes me wonder what Stanley McDonald would think if he were to walk up a Princess gangway today. I think he'd be pretty impressed.
Stanley's original one-ship cruise line, taking guests all the way from Los Angeles down to Mexico, now has thousands of crew members on board, serving hundreds of thousands of guests all over the world. And it's really down to you. Yes, you're the reason why this company has continued to thrive in such a competitive sector of the leisure and tourism industry. Now, it's difficult for us to show you just how grateful we are for you returning to Princess every single year. So let me finish off by saying thank you. Thank you for returning to our brand every single year. Thank you for being loyal, and thank you for sailing with us for 50 plus years. We look forward to immersing you once again, hopefully in the not too distant future, on board one of our very unique Princess ships. Princess Cruises, come back new. Anybody got any cake?